And this was supposed to be, yeah. And he wouldn't have been an A1C.
Interesting stuff.
And like I've said all along, and I've said this from day one, I cannot remember Larry Warren.
And you would do, wouldn't you? If you...
Yeah. I was the armorer for D shift. I'd have issued their weapons and taken them back in.
That's it. Now I showed you that paperwork because he reckons he was assigned to D shift.
Yeah, well, I'll show you something in a second. Let me just, come on, where the hell is it? Right, now, there's that piece of paper that you showed me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's supposed to be Lee Swan's signature.
Yeah.
Right. Read that name there and look at that signature.
So that's his actual real signature.
Yeah. And it's not. This is two different dates. This is the 11th of November of '80. The 24th.
This is what I was hoping for something like that.
This is the 24th of November.
This is
80,
excellent.
Right. There's his signature. It looks.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, you
like
can see someone's tried to copy it, but make it like readable, haven't you? Yeah. And it's got a Leah with an A in it.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, and it's very, very important. Do you mind if I take a photo of it?
Now go ahead, because I mean, that was the first thing when I looked at it, I thought, hang on a second. Yeah. I know I got. Well, I got Swan's.
We are pretty sure that that's this paperwork.
Well, yeah, I can. Well, I'll show you something else. Right. Okay, as it says on that piece of paper, the 24th of November, 1980.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got assigned as CSP armor on the 11th of November, because I I decided it was too cold outside and I wanted an inside job. Right.
As you would.
So that's another one of that one. Right. That, if you want to read that, that'll explain something here in a second. And that's what got sent to every person joining the 81st SPS. And that was from Malcolm Ziegler, and he used to sign them. Right.
Yep.
If you noticed here, assigned to the order room and worked from 8 to 5. He states in here 7:30. They didn't start at 7:30, they started at 8 o'clock.
Right. I think that's an important thing. Do you want?
Yeah. I mean, and then down here I understand that I'm to report to the first sergeant. Well, why is that in there? Because, and why would he sign it?
Yeah. So he's actually manufactured this after the fact, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it would come with that on it. It just wouldn't come up with the 81st Police Squadron. It would come up with the whole thing on it.
Can I just have a close up of that? Because that might be a good idea. Because that's what would have been on it, wouldn't it?
Because it never.
And then you've got that.
Yeah, it never come. Anything that was sent to us was never sent without anything on it.
Yeah.
And then you've got. That's when we deployed to Rhine Mine. I mean, there's a list of names and people.
So that would have been D flight, would it?
No, it was a mixture of flights.
Oh, I see. I'll get you. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's not even on that.
No. Yeah, here you go. This is when I was assigned. That's when I was assigned to Bentwaters.
Right.
And that's what you would have gotten. You would have gotten that.
Right, so that's what you would have gotten rather than that piece of paper that he's got.
That's the initial.
Do you mind if I do this? Is that all right?
Yeah. I think I've even got. Go ahead.
So there's no numbers on it. That's not.
Or
are these numbers important?
Yeah, all these need to be blacked out.
Okay. Yeah.
Just those ones, because they're the Social Security numbers of all those guys. Yeah, and that's basically what you get. You get that assigning you. That's your paperwork for traveling. and then you'll get one of these. We used to get one of these as it's the old Honeywell printers.
Yeah.
And that was what you got your assignment.
Yeah, more or less like an automatic typewriter sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. You got that from CBPO, assigning you to the base you were going to, and then you get all your other stuff. But yeah,
so we can only be led to believe that he never completed his training, can't we? That's all we can.
Well, yeah, I mean,
let's put it like this: if you were the arms, you dealt the arms out. You never dealt him any arms out,
no.
So he couldn't have been on duty that night.
No.
That's the crux of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, as far as that night went.
Well, those 3 nights, let's say, because
Yeah.
he says he was involved on the 3rd night with Chuck, with Colonel Holt and Bustinza and everything else.
Yeah. The guy that, if you can get a hold of him, is Tromley. Tromley was on the art team. Tromley and I'm trying to remember whether it was Failber were on the art team. They never spoke up.
Why was that?
Because they didn't want
to
they didn't want to get in the shit. Because I mean, to me, everybody that's been involved with this has been poo-pooed by the Air Force.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Colonel Holt.
Yeah, even Chuck.
Colonel Holt did not make any higher than Colonel.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, as soon as he signed that paperwork, that just put a death.
Yeah, he says that himself. But he did that. Although he ended up in the Pentagon in quite a reasonable job.
One left at East Gate, I'm sure. That was an old one because it was with Barbara Butler. It was
Brenda
Butler
yeah.
in cohesion with her, and I just.
Oh, there's the Sky Crash book.
Ah,
Sky Crash is the one you're thinking of, I think.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the one she wrote.
I haven't read anything of that because I won't buy it.
Well, it's hilarious.
Because to me, I'm not going to prop up his coffers.
No. Well, I mean, but none of us knew about it at the time. I mean, you've probably seen this thing because he said he had some sort of eye damage.
Right. Let me see what he's got in here because I can tell you. Right. Yeah, that's an original. I got a copy of the same thing. That's like I said, that's
the thing we've seen.
That's the one, right? This is where he's been assigned. When was this? 80? No.
He
wouldn't have been a 5 level in 1980.
He arrived in December 1980.
No.
Just a couple of weeks before. He wouldn't have had that.
No, he wouldn't have been a 5 level because I can show you.
So I wonder if he's taken somebody else's and changed it.
Does he have a copy of his orders? Because he's an airman here, or he's put A1C atop of it in December. Now, if he can't, hang on a second, I'll tell you right now. Right, okay.
I've probably got some better copies of that.
He's an airman in December on the 28th of October, 1980. Right. It takes 6 months from the time you're an airman to become an A1C.
Right.
So October, November, December, no, January, February, March. March he would have been an A1C.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. That's when I went from a 3 level, which is what you are when you come out of training.
Right.
I went from a 3 level on the 7th of July, 1981. All right, so I've been here a year. Because it takes a year to do the level training. So it would have taken me a year from the time I got here to get my 5 level. I got my 5 level there. So you wouldn't have come straight out of tech school as a 5 level.
Right.
You'd have come straight out of tech school as a 3 level. So I don't know where he's got that from.
Yeah.
That paperwork's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably been, maybe he's found somebody else's and
typed
altered
it.
As much as he did with that medical ticket.
Yeah, I want to, let me look through these because
I've probably got better copies of some of these.
Because it's got
I've got some bigger copies of a lot of this stuff.
It's got none of the stuff, the remarks on it. Now, this is a strange one because he has copied something. He has copied. Where is it? Right, where is it? Now, I've got one. He's got skis. He's saying he's assigned to Slawowski. Senior and Slawowski. Now I've got one with that on it somewhere. Here you go. Here's another one for you. Right, on this overseas information, right? This is where it's going to shoot this to pieces. If you look in this block here, right?
Yeah.
If he's being assigned as of the 5th of December 1980, then how come his paperwork, and yeah, Senior Airman Slawowski was my reporting official, but when you look down at the sheet on my side, you'll see that it gives his social security number. They always gave social security numbers. His tour start date is the 30th of November 1980. Why? Yeah. There's a discrepancy in his anomaly. And this states that his AFSC 81130 is effective as of December the 1st, 1980. So why would it be a 5 level on the right hand side of it as 81150 as of December the 1st, 1980?
Right.
And yeah, Senior Airman Slawowski was my reporting official, but when you look down at the sheet on my side, you'll see that it gives his social security number. They always gave social security numbers. And this was supposed to be, yeah. And he wouldn't have been an A1C.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, these are some of these would be just the sheets that I showed you on the,
Yeah.
and that would be, let's see what he's got on there. Yeah, this is just his assignment. See, even on this assignment sheet that comes from CBPO, which is civilian personnel, or personnel, says his designated AFSC is 81130. His actual AFC is 81130, and that effective date is the 1st of December 1980. So how does he get a 5 level at right? Yeah, I've got the same paperwork for all your testing and recruiting. Yeah, Sergeant Slack. See, he's a 3 level there, and that's his last date was the 15th of December 1980. Two members of D Flight. They weren't D Flight. None of those guys in that picture were D Flight.
Weren't they?
No. Because if that's May, going back to this photograph, this would have been March. there's nobody in that photograph that's on my photograph.
So you don't recognise any of those?
No.
Even Warren himself?
Yeah. I mean, they might have been his buddies from somewhere else, but they're not D-Flight members. I mean, I'll send you a copy of that photograph, or you can get it.
Oh, no, I've got it.
Yeah,
You
off
sent
my
it.
Facebook,
That's great. Yeah, I've
Facebook
got that.
page.
But
Yeah.
you sent me that.
No, I don't recognize any of those guys as being D-Flight.
Interesting. Because that's what he's stating there, isn't it?
Yeah, he's stating that Larry Wells, hang on, and 2 members of D-Flight. Well, who are the 2 members of D-Flight? Larry Wells. Yeah, no, I don't recognize any of those guys as D-Flight.
Jim says, he said it several times, he said he was on Weeds and Seeds. Apparently he was doing the odd
I
jobs.
think it was Snap, what we called Snap, which was, he wasn't certified, he didn't have his PRP certification, which is the personal reliability program, which would have meant he wouldn't have been able to get into areas. His 1199 wouldn't have been issued with areas on it. Yeah. Well, I'll back Colonel Holt up on this, because like I said, I can't remember him being on Delta Flight, and I can't remember issuing him a weapon.
Well, you've shown the paperwork for it, wasn't it?
I mean, to be issued a weapon, one, I would have had his card, which is his weapon card, and I'd remembered. Yeah, I can. Here we go. Yeah, same way with Holt here. He's saying about the PRP. He would have never been issued that PRP within that period. It can take up to 6 months. There was guys that were not PRP'd.
So he's saying, basically he's saying the same thing there, isn't he?
Yeah. You know, same way with Holt saying he'd like to see the documents too. Because everybody had documents, you know, and I mean, even it's now 2020, and I still have my U.S. Air Force documents.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know,
and there's a picture here.
Well, that isn't Delta Flight.
No, it's not even Pentward. It's a different base altogether. But Warren's trying to make out that this was, because I think when we were bringing up the subject of the M60, you wanted to find the picture. Someone's holding an M60.
Yeah.
And we did it. Well, I didn't do it, but a friend of mine did a reverse picture search and found it was a different base altogether.
Is that Alconbury?
It could have been something like that. I think I've got the picture there somewhere.
Yeah, because I don't even know. That's nobody at Bentwaters.
But you got Warren's trying to tell everybody.
No. I wish somebody in there. It would have been somebody I knew in there, because I could have poo-pooed him right then and there.
Yeah.
No, that's not Bentwaters.
Just shows you the hilarity we've had to.
Hang on a second. Can you bring that photograph back a second?
Right. Oh, there it is. That one there.
Yeah, for Hayford. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's actually done an internet search to find something with an M60 on it, to persuade them that, you know, what he's saying is true.
Well.
And then you got somebody. There was somebody arguing with Adrian Bustinza. Here you go. Adrian Bustinza, and then he goes underneath there saying,
Let's see. I mean, that's another shot of Delta Flight.
right, yeah.
And I mean, that's the M60 inside the armor.
Yeah, you sort of got that picture. Yeah. Yeah, that's the good.
That's a trip photographed to Edinburgh
Right.
of Delta flight, and that's another shot of Delta flight, and that's with. Well, that's with Adrian there.
Oh right, yeah.
And if you look at that photograph, if that's supposed to be Delta flight, I'll kiss the Queen's ass, and I'll give you an hour to draw the crowd because that's Delta flight.
Right, yeah. Larry Warren. This is the Indian. This is the chap that's playing him in the film, and he's showing him how to handle an M16.
Where's his qualification badge? And no, you don't put an M16 there. M16 goes high on the shoulder.
That's what I mean. He's not handling it right, is he?
No. And we didn't have that type of M16. That's an A1.
That's another funny story of his. Yeah, he says the M16 he was issued with was actually used in Vietnam.
That could have been possible.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. So where would he got that story from?
Because our weapons, we used to talk about our weapons.
Right.
And we did have weapons with.
So he stored that story.
We had weapons with 3-bar suppressor on it.
Right.
See you look at the advance of the weapon there.
Yeah.
Right. That was a later model. You had a 3-bar suppressor on it, or flash suppressor. That's what that is. And they were used for cutting barbed wire. You used to stick it in and twist it. But we were not issued with the A1s. That's an M16A1. We had M16s. Yeah. Or Car 15s.
But you would say he's not handling that right.
Yeah, no, because you don't push an M16 into the shoulder like that. An M16 is designed to be to the
probably break your shoulder collarbone. Look.
No, there's hardly any recoil for an M16. Right. You hear more spring than you do anything else.
Right.
And you're taught to put the butt high in the top of the shoulder. You're not taught to tuck it into the shoulder.
Right.
A heavy weapon, you tuck into the shoulder because that's what gives you the support. Yeah. Let's see. Right. Well, I get pissed off with people wearing berets like that because it's not worn right. They didn't stick out at the side. We used to tuck them down. I got 3 upstairs, and for him to be an SP, if you'd like to follow me upstairs, bring your mic with you. I'll show you what. Yeah, if you're gonna make a film,
get it right.
That's it. Right. This is a post that I put on.
Oh, that was him then.
Yeah, supposed to be in 81. Right. I put this on. This is Jim Burroughs and Ronnie DeGaulle in 18 June of 17. A lot of debate has been going on about Larry Warren was on duty the night Holt's team went out. It's simple solved and asked the armorer. They're asking me, and I said I don't remember Larry Warren turning in weapons during the incident. And then there's something. This is Michael Smith saying, Don says he remembers issuing my weapon only because he knew each other. We knew each other.
Mm.
And yeah.
As you would do, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And again, I said, I was on duty that night, and I cannot remember Larry. And I've said it all along. Then Mike made a comment about my hair. Or lack of hair. Right, this is November 17. So today I see in the East Anglian paper, I've known that all along. I've never saw him at my window drawing a weapon. That was Larry Warren. Warren makes me sick.
Oh, he's made us all sick.
Told him exactly what I told you. I didn't know Warren.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't on flight, and I never issued him any weapons.
I think a lot of the important stuff is that Lee Swain's signature, which is obviously not the same, is it?
And I mean, that's an official. That was official documents.
Yeah, and that's very. I think that's very, very important.
You know, as soon as I got that when you sent that through, I thought,
that's not right. I mean, we've always thought that wasn't right anyway.
I know I've got.
Oh, this didn't look right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, L-E-A Swain.
Yeah.
You know,
Leah Swain.
Leah Swain.
And it's all. The thing is, it matches a lot of other of Warren's writings as well. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, I've also been in contact with another SP that stayed over here.
Oh right, yeah.
Willie Charles, who was my supervisor.
Yeah.
And he doesn't remember Warren.
He doesn't either. It's weird, isn't it? Even Chuck didn't really remember him, you know.
Well, and the thing is, Willie got here about the same time as he did. So, I mean, Willie tell you, from the get-go, he wasn't involved in the UFO, because everybody gets, as soon as they hear, oh, you were an SP at Bentwaters, oh, were you in the UFO? UFO? And I'm like, every time.
That's right, it's always going to be the main question, isn't it?
Every time somebody says that.
Especially in this area.
I'm like, no, I didn't see a thing. I wasn't involved. The only thing I can tell you is I issued a starlight scope.
Yeah.
That's it. And
which says that something happened.
Yeah. But, I mean, what good a starlight scope would have been?
No, well, I suppose it was just a normal issue.
Because as soon as light hits it,
I suppose even when Chuck went out with radiation equipment with Nibbles, didn't he? So I suppose it was just a normal thing, just to take it just in case. Yeah. I suppose same as you would take a flashlight.
Yeah. I mean, would a Geiger counter picked up, anything other than background radiation?
No, well, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a certain amount of radiation that's there anyway, so especially being near the base and everything.
Well, I mean, I've backed up all the shit on paperwork.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, what he had all that. That's what he had. I've got one for the SPs. All your training that you had to do, and you had to get it all signed off. So he'd have never been a 5 level in that time.
No, it doesn't seem from what you're saying. It wouldn't, would it?
Yeah. He'd have never made 5 level by that time. His description of his diseases, he's a blatant liar.
of his diseases. He's a blatant liar.